in Mexico, in the Sea of Cortez, in Australia, and making a big difference. And one of the things that we've developed over the last few years, well, it began 18 years ago in the Galapagos, and that is forging a partnership with the various authorities, the enforcement authorities. So we started the partnership 18 years ago with the Galapagos Park Rangers and the Ecuadorian Environmental Police. And so ever since then, we've had a really great relationship. We've deployed canine units there. Not only do we train the dogs and provide them to the police, but we also take care of them, and after they retire, we find homes for them. And those dogs have been very instrumental in tracking poachers, shark poachers, sea cucumber poachers. We've also set up an AIS system to do a complete surveillance of the Galapagos Islands, and we've provided a patrol boat and many other things, and that's what we're doing more and more. And Peter can fill you in on what we're doing in Africa, but I'll fill you in on probably our most prominent campaign here, and that is to prevent the extinction of the endangered vaquita in the Vaquita Refuge in the northern part of the Sea of Cortez. Right now we have the Farley Mowat there, and that will soon be joined by a new vessel we got called the White Holly. And we've finally been able to get the Mexican government to understand that there is a way to save the vaquita, and that is that we just need to pull those illegal nets out of the water as fast as they set them. And today we've pulled over 800 nets, totaling about 100,000 meters of nets, and we've actually managed to stabilize the diminishment of the vaquita populations. So there's between 12 and 30 of them left, and that was what the figure was. The estimate was last year. It hasn't gone down, so hopefully we'll be able to keep that up. This will be our 5th year of Operation Milagro. It's a dangerous campaign. We've had our drones shot down. We've been fired on, and we have we have the Mexican sailors on board. And next year there's going to be a movie released, a film release made by Leonardo DiCaprio called that's all about the vaquita campaign, and really shows the efforts that our crew have been down there. Hundreds of volunteers have been involved in this, and it's been an extremely successful campaign. We're also now reestablishing our commitment to protect Cocos Island and the Osa Peninsula in Costa Rica. Since 2002, I've been in a lot of trouble with Costa Rica, but now the new government in Costa Rica has dismissed the red notice against me, and the new environment minister called me up personally to invite us to come to Costa Rica and to work with them to protect the sharks and the other species around Cocos Island and the Osa Peninsula. So, and we've just been invited by Peru to work with them to stop poaching operations in their waters. So on this side of it, we have working relationships with Mexico, Peru,
this is Captain Paul
Ecuador,
Watson
and
from Sea
Dominica,
Shepherd,
and hoping to establish more. And let Peter fill you in on the amazing work that he's been doing in Africa.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me? It's great to be here when I'm not out at sea. I'm in Stockholm, Sweden, so it is rare that I'm in California, but Los Angeles is one of my favorite cities in the world, so I'm really, really happy to be here. Because I represent Sea Shepherd Global, which is based in Amsterdam, I thought I would take some time and talk about what we're doing, as Paul mentioned, working together with African coastal states in helping them take back their seas from poachers. A lot of you probably found out about Sea Shepherd through Whale Wars, and I first joined Sea Shepherd. I first went out to sea because of whaling. Since I was 14 years old, no issue instilled more fury in me. This deeply felt sentiment anchored in the experience of being a 14-year-old kid and seeing a picture of a dead minke whale being pulled up the slipway of an 8,000-ton factory whaling ship. A feeling that was amplified when I stepped into that photograph and I saw the killing for myself. But while we were spending 10 years chasing Japanese whaling ships around the frozen continent through the Southern Ocean, the remaining 7 seas were under siege. As we were chasing these Japanese whaling ships, sea turtle species continued to be driven toward extinction, shark populations plummeted, and many of the world's fisheries continued to move toward total collapse. As the Japanese whaling fleet ruthlessly pursued 1,035 whales, now down to 333 whales annually, over 300,000 whales and dolphins were being killed every single year as bycatch, collateral damage of unscrupulous illegal fishing and rampant overfishing. So our focus has been very much on addressing the issue of illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. And when you look at the state of the oceans, we're in this dire, dire state. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization say that 90% of the world's fisheries are either overexploited or fully exploited. If current trends continue, then by 2048, the world's major fisheries will be gone. And at the same time, the amount of plastic in the world's oceans will actually outweigh the amount of fish. And 2048 is not that long off. That's 30 years down the line. And considering that 90% of the world's fish is caught in the waters of countries, and 15 to 40% of the global catch of fish is caught through illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, so-called IUU fishing, we're prioritizing working together with governments that lack the economic means to adequately monitor, control, and surveil their waters. And working together with Liberia, Gabon, Sao Tome and Principe in West Africa, and Tanzania in East Africa, in the past 3 years, we've assisted those countries to arrest 26 illegal fishing vessels. And for me, every single one of these illegal fishing vessels stopped is a slaughterhouse shut down. Every day they're detained, they're not out at sea killing marine wildlife. One of the vessels we arrested in November of last year was a vessel called the Libico II. This was a vessel that was legally licensed to do long line fishing for tuna in Liberia. But when the Liberian Coast Guard boarded this ship, supported by us, they discovered not long line fishing gear, but rather 200 kilometers, so about 140 miles of illegal prohibited gill net. And on board this ship was a secret shark liver oil production facility. This vessel, the Libico II, under a previous name called the Maine, had been internationally blacklisted. It was wanted internationally, and it was part of a fleet of 50 largely Spanish-owned vessels that in the 1990s had almost completely wiped out deep-water sharks in the North Atlantic. When the European Union made a total ban on gillnet fishing in the North Atlantic, this fleet of shark plunderers went down to India. They wiped out the deep-water sharks. They then went to the Mozambique Channel and did the same. And the discovery of them operating in Liberian waters showed that these shark plunderers had come to West Africa. On board the ship, we seized cargo manifests that showed that this vessel was offloading 50 tons of shark liver oil every 3 weeks. And to produce 50 tons of shark liver oil took the lives of 66,000 sharks. A fishing expedition lasted about 3 weeks, which means that this one single ship was killing over 500,000 sharks every single year.
Wow.
The arrest of this vessel, which was made possible by Sea Shepherd, by the support of all of you, has saved the lives of hundreds of thousands of sharks. And if it hadn't been for the Liberian Coast Guard assisted by Sea Shepherd, this boat would have completely wiped out deep-water sharks off the coast of Liberia. So these are the incredible successes that we're achieving. I just came back from Gabon in Central West Africa, where we're working together with the Gabonese Navy and the Gabonese Fisheries Enforcement Agency and the National Park Service. We arrested 2 trawlers there that were fishing in a newly established marine reserve, and those 2 vessels are still detained, locked up where they can do no harm. We are a Save the Oceans movement, and saving the oceans can be an incredibly daunting task, but thankfully we don't have to save the entirety of the oceans. We just have to save these critical areas of marine biodiversity, these areas where we can draw our battle lines, these places where we can dig into the trenches, and these places from where we can really push back against poachers who have plundered those areas for way too long. That's what we're doing in Liberia, it's what we're doing in Gabon, Sao Tome and Principe, and Tanzania, with over 26 fishing vessels arrested to date. and with your continued support, we're going to be expanding to new partnerships. So thank you so much for making those successes possible. Whenever we're at sea, you do sail with us. We recognize as crew of the ships that we would never leave port if it wasn't for you putting fuel in our vessels. So it's a great pleasure for me to be here, and thanks so much for coming out tonight.
Hey everybody, please share this out. We're live from Unchained. We're at Beelman's.
Anybody have any questions?
We're going to do a Q&A right now.
Were you talking about the turtles in Mexico, in the Sea of Cortez?
Well, we do rescue turtles that are caught in the nets.
What was I forget was it a fish or you were talking in the northern Sea of Cortez in Mexico?
The vaquita. It's the smallest and most endangered dolphin.
It's a dolphin, yeah.
But we do have turtle rescue
It's
campaigns.
like a feeding frenzy. Thousands of dolphins, like, at the same time.
So presently we have a crew on the ground in Nicaragua protecting turtle nests. Recently completed a campaign in Barbuda in the Caribbean to protect turtle nests, and this is an ongoing thing. We call that Operation Jairo. It was named in honor of Jairo
If you're watching, please share this out.
Sandoval, who was murdered on May 31st, 2013 on the beach in Costa Rica for defending turtles. So in his name we continue to protect turtles.
Do you have any solar power options on your ships or anything like that?
Do we have solar power on our ships? Just small panels, but you can't really drive those ships on solar power.
I mean, for accessories or whatever.
Yeah, we also have one sailing ship, Martin Sheet. So we try to, a lot of people ask us, why don't we have all our sails, all our vessels being sailing ships? The problem is you don't catch poachers with sailing ships. We need to be able to outrun them.
With the new communication with Costa Rica, does that mean we can stop banning Costa Rica?
Stop what?
I had a ban on Costa Rica, and
we actually never had a boycott of Costa Rica because we never felt that the Costa Rican people should suffer because of their governments. I mean, you can see what could happen in this country if everybody boycotted the United States because of our government. So you really can't hold people responsible for the governments, because the governments in most cases don't serve the people anyway.
Can you repeat what you said about bringing up the nets in the Sea of Cortez regarding the vaquita? Did you say you were on track with
about nets right
bringing them
now,
up as fast as they were being dropped down?
Yeah, we can pretty much get them out of the water as quickly as...
You said in one day?
Well, whenever they set them. If they set them at 2 o'clock in the morning, we can get them out by 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. What we do is use drones, and those drones monitor the activity in the vaquita refuge. We can fly them at night, and with FLIR cameras we can see their operations. We can go straight to where they drop the nets, and then we can remove them.
Are you optimistic about the vaquita's survival?
I'm always optimistic about these. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't think we could actually protect them. A lot of people say, well, it's a lost cause, but when you really get down to it, the only causes worth really fighting for are lost causes. And it's miraculous how many times you can win.
Very good.
If anybody else had any questions, I can't see because of this light.
Okay, so we'll take questions and answers over off the light because it's so. Okay, everybody. So, can I have the light on me, please? Can I have the light on me? I'm still recording. This is Sarah Segal reporting live from Jane Unchained. I'm at Beelman's, downtown Los Angeles, all plant-based sports pub. It's like a sports bar pub, and Paul Watson is here, and I'm going to turn the camera around on me and Paul Watson. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Give me just a minute. So Paul Watson is now answering questions, so give me just a second. It's really dark in here also.
Well, the education side of what is in the film.
I need the light. On me, yeah. Can you hand me the light? Sorry, my lighting person is being super difficult. I'm gonna flip it back on. Okay, so I'm here at Beelman's, and I'm just gonna kind of show you guys around and who's here, and Paul Watson's answering questions. I just want to kind of show you guys what's going on. And what's going on is Paul Watson's answering questions from Sea Shepherd, and he just gave an amazing speech. And if you want to watch it, you can just go back and rewatch this replay. And please share this out. If you're just now tuning in, go ahead and share this out and then go back and watch the replay of Paul Watson speaking, and also his other captain, who was incredible, amazing, right? I'm going to flip it around and show you what's going on. These are some of the people that are here. So these are some of the people that are here tonight. And this light does work. My lighting person, I have it on the number one thing, the brightest thing. Okay. So I'm just gonna go and show you guys around what's going on, and everybody's here just eating, and they're watching sports, and it's all vegan. And of course, we know that Paul Watson's here, and Sea Shepherd.
Yeah, she mentioned that.
And there's all sorts of stuff over here that Sea Shepherd has available. So if you can support Sea Shepherd, you can go online and also support Sea Shepherd by going to seashepherd.org. And now that the music is back on, I will be signing off soon. I just want to go around and just kind of show you a little bit more about what's going on here at Beelman's. So it's a vegan, and you wouldn't even believe this place is so amazing. Righty, so let me flip the camera around. Super dark in here, but there are loads of people, so people are like, oh, where do you eat? Well, this is a vegan place, you know, people are eating, so this is where you're live on Unchained. So we see Elvie is here, we have Michelle from Sea Shepherd, and you heard Captain Paul Watson speak tonight, and what do you have to say about Captain and the other captain that spoke?
Well, I've been a long admirer of the work they've done, followed them for many years, and so happy to finally meet him in person. And it's like so exciting to see all the work that people are doing.
Yeah, right. So for those of you that don't know, Sea Shepherd does. They did whale. They were on Whale Wars. So there's a Sea Shepherd shirt here, which is really cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead around and show Sea Shepherd. This is really awesome. And these are all people here that support Sea Shepherd or work with Sea Shepherd. And everybody here is eating vegan. And we have somebody that even came all the way from Palm Springs to see and meet Captain Paul Watson. And there's a lot going on. And there's music also. But everybody's super excited, but we have the light on him the whole time we were filming, so we feel bad that we did that, but we do thank them. Thank you so much. All the viewers from Unchained are watching, so if there's anything that you wanted to say to our viewers, either one of you, if you could come in the light, if either one of you could come and tell our viewers, what would you say to our viewers tonight?
What would we say? Well, I think
what's one thing? If you were in an elevator with somebody and they said, "What's Sea Shepherd? What do you do? Who are you?"
The message I try to get across to everybody is that if we don't protect our oceans, then we're not going to survive. If the ocean dies, we die, and therefore
we gotta protect the oceans.